and welcome back to our hanging garden build and day 4. So far it does not feel like we have done much. I have to feel this as well. So we have our little, this is what we did on day 3. We have a little thing here, we've got an extra one. This is nice and sturdy now. We have our packet, a bag with some flowers in. That way around is a bit better, isn't it? Then we have a spare one of these, and we have a pot, and we have 3 of these. So that's what we had done. We've got a few other bits and pieces. I'm hoping today that we can really get a move on. So I'm going to need this one. I don't think I need any of these yet, but I might soon. Let me get the other bits and pieces out, get my board ready, and we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, I pulled quite a few pieces, so I'm in the hope that we are going to get quite far today. I know that there's another pot. I have all my stuff all muddled up. Let's see. Maybe it's not this one. I don't think it's this one. Not yet. Soon. We'll be needing that though, so that's okay. It's this one. Because we're going to need this. And we are going to need our paper. My beads have got stuck inside each other. It's always fun, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so let's see. We're going to need this one almost straight off. And this one, not this one. I think I've got all my pots muddled up. Okay. We will need these, and they need to get cut in half. So let's get those down. We will need our tissue paper, I believe, as well. So I'm going to just cut those in half, put this to one side a second. We are also going to get one of these folded and stuck, and I have pulled 2. I pulled more than 2. No, I pulled 2 for now. So let's get both of those going so we can get a move on today. And we are on page 14 of the book, so we are getting there. It just doesn't feel like it. Even to me it feels long. Even to me, that doesn't really mean anything, does it? Some builds feel like they go very quick. Other builds do feel a bit longer. Let's put it that way. I'm going to keep that out because we might need it again. And because they're paper, I'm going to use beacon and just dribble it on here. Probably do beacon a bit today. And then with this one, don't need that for this flower, for the first flower. We will be needing it for, don't need either of them for the first flower, but we will for the second. I'm just trying to check myself here. I don't know why I had a pot that I don't need. It doesn't feel right. Okay, and because we scored it, it should be easier to fold it in half. We're going to need to cut those out in a bit. So after me getting the greaseproof paper out, here I am gluing away without it. Make sure it's on the line. I'll give it a good squish all the way. Okay, those are both ready, or will be by the time we get to them. So first of all, we need 4 by 2.5 centimeters. So 4 is about 1.5 inches if you're in inches, and by 2.5, which funny enough is roughly where we were. Doesn't have to be exact, as long as it's rough. And guess what we're going to do to this? You'd never guess. Yeah, we're going to cut out more leaves. Keep hold of that, probably need that again too. So this one is just very deep leaves. So when I say deep, I mean quite wide ones. They're not skinny, like that one's a bit skinny, to be honest with you. So I want some wider, like so. Probably a bit further down. but more pointy. I'll get there in a minute. And okay, we're getting there now-ish. And all the way. This one's quite a straightforward one. Hey, come out. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't really come out either. But okay, wider one, a little bit deeper. And a bit more. Oop, almost went straight through. Don't need to be quite that much. And this one's just got an unusual shape. I'm just going there. Okay, so put those to one side to be thrown away. And that's this. And then what we're going to do is we are putting in the, what are we doing? Yeah, it doesn't say to roll them in it, but I know that that's an easier way. It says just to put them into the pot, but if we actually glue them inside, this will make it easier. This one's not so bad because it's on a wire, but these ones are too wobbly at the ends really for you to do it, not to do it the way that they suggest. They suggest rolling the leaves and putting the leaves in the pot and then add the flowers afterwards, but we all know that these are a bit wobbly and it's just not that doable. Just try and get them lined up, and you don't necessarily need them higher actually. That's me getting them all higher. You don't really need it that high. Just make sure that they're on the green. Okay. And even lower still, I think. They're getting caught on the green in the first place. Right. So we're going to be cutting these a bit shorter before they go in the pot. Wow, I'm having trouble. And this is what makes the videos blum along and we get nothing done. Right, I'm going to separate them because they're very attached to each other. Okay, I'm happier with that. Now I've got a blob. Oi. Gosh. Okay. It's okay this time. Of course that first one moved as we kind of thought it probably would. Okay, and just roll them up. It's not particularly good first roll, I will say. Wow, okay, interruptions today. Door and then phone. Okay, so this is done like this, and then they want you to put some of that paper in here and then put this in the pot. I guess I could put some in. I'm not inclined to put much in because just so it doesn't quite go through the bottom, I guess, because I don't particularly want the white showing either. And I'm going to cut this. Well, actually, let me pop that in first. No, that's not going to help. I'm not going to put this in. Don't want it in. I'm going to put this one in so far up, and I'm going to put this one in. Wants to kind of be in the middle here. So pop that into the middle, which I could do outside of the pot. It needs to go in, but not. Ooh, it's tight. It really is. Not sure I can get it in here. Should have, when I wrapped up the rest of it, I should have wrapped it all up at the same time. Should have wrapped this one up. Well, we know what we're going to do, don't we? I'm going to cut it. Make it a bit shorter. So it's got to be higher than the other ones. Well, mine's not overly higher than the other ones now either, because I'll probably cut it a bit too short. So let's pop in some tacky this time, because it's metal. Got some tacky on me. And put that in there, and I'm just going to pop it in a little bit on the top. So it goes something like so. And put some tacky in the bottom here. Well, now I can do, yeah, now I can do this. Pop that in there, like so. Push it down a bit. Cut the end off of here. Just to about where the bottom of the paper is actually, it doesn't need much more. And then put it in there like so. Maybe it's to stop it tipping over, and that's why they want the paper in the bottom. And that's how mine looks. Different people have different ideas, and I think you can do that. Alright, so let's pop this glue lid back on. Oh, gosh. Okay, so you're awake now then. Alright. Now, when I was on the phone, I cut the other one out, but being that I'm using this one next, I'll cut this one. So all you then do is go around here and cut through. Now, if it's too white on the end, which it might be, then I might go over it with a green pen. The other one that I cut out wasn't too bad, to be honest. But we'll see what this one's like, because they're a lot bigger leaves. So I'll do a couple, and then I'll just do the rest off camera. We don't need to be taken up all the time doing this. And we are on page 14 now. We'll be making 3 plants, so looking on the side here, it is a bit white, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to get a green pen. I'm going to look at these little ones too. I think I'm going to do those as well. I'm going to get a green pen and go over the edges, get the rest of these cut out, and then I'll show you what we need to do next. Okay, those are all cut out and the edges painted. So it just takes off the green on me still. Takes off the sharpness of the white, and I just use like a lime green acrylic paint marker. So we are then, oh, darn it, sorry, we are then going to take one of these, and you're basically going to take the leaves off of it. Well, no, you are and you're not. Let's see. Okay, you're going to want to take these bottom ones off, that's all. So keep hold of them, because I'm not sure that you're not going to need them. And this is going to go in here, and again they suggest putting in paper at the bottom. I'm just going to put a bit in there, that's fine. And I'm going to put this in the middle, like so. And it does stand up quite a bit, so maybe not quite that much. Let's get rid of that. Like so. And then we're going to put the leaves in as well. So I'm going to get a little bit of tacky in here. Oopsie. Making it all messy. I'm going to pop this in here. And then take our leaves and literally just put them around it. Which, maybe that's why they have the paper in the bottom, to help these types of things stick in there. I don't know. I think it's the only model that I've done where it's suggested about this paper. And all the way around. And then the ones which you want to class as the front, you'll bend kind of forward. If they're in the way. I don't even know that mine's going to be in the way. I think mine's going to be fine. In you go. One It's trying to escape, and they are different lengths, so you can also organise them that are slightly different heights and things like that around. So you can have it like that, or you can bend them if you want to at the front to go forward somewhat. You want a rounder bend, really. So you want to put the sharp corner 90-degree bend, and put that one back in who's trying to escape. And these two have joined forces. So have you guys separate so it looks something like that. Plant pot 2 done. Okay, plant pot 3 is something I have not done before. So we need 8 squares of 1.1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. I'm just going to do 1 by 1, and I'm going to do it very roughly at that. And so then I'm going to do about 1 centimetre, 2, 3, 4, 5 out the glue, and then another 3, 6, 7, maybe about here. So let's see, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that was good. Didn't even have another cut. That was a reasonable guess then. Then what we're going to do with these is, first of all, we need another piece of paper, which I did cut ready to rock and roll, which is this one, which are thinner points, so a few more of them. And we are going to take, where are they? Here they are. 4 of these. So we need them in half. So let's put that to one side, don't need that yet. And this one goes into that bead that I showed you right at the beginning, this one. And cut these in half. And this looks like a bit of a palaver. Okay. And then what you're going to do is your orange squares, you are going to fold them kind of in half, but off half. So you want the triangle bit of the bottom of it to show through. I'll show you what I mean. I don't even know how to describe it, really. That's something like, so it looks like that. You don't want it to be a triangle folded in half. And then that is going to wrap around our plant top by doing it which way? I believe this way, like so. So let me do 1. We will give it a go. Maybe we'll do 2. So it says to glue this in half. I don't know how necessary that is when we're going to be gluing it anyway. And then you glue this so it goes around. And again, I'm just using tacky, as I have been. Just trying to make a mess, but at least it's easy to clean. And you want it to wrap around the top of our little plant, basically. So something like so. And then sandwich it together. And it will have some sort of overlap by the looks of it. And that will be it. And then you just make sure it's folded in. And hopefully it's a little bit more fluffy on the sides than mine. Mine's a little bit too tight. So maybe I should have had it slightly higher up, maybe. The paper. I don't know. I really should change camera position so you can see what I'm even talking about. Okay, so it's something like so. I'm going to get and do the rest. If any 2 are the same, I will actually be shocked. be very surprised. And then just make sure that the bottom of it's crimped, which is actually easier said to do than done because the papers starts to get a bit soggy. Off you come. Off you come. There you go. All right, I'm going to make another 7 of those, and I will show you. And then we are going to put them on here and roll them up as we did before, and then pop them in here. So let me get as far as rolling them up, and then we'll put them in here, and we will get that done. Okay, so what I think is that what you do with your squares is you take one corner and you fold it. So instead of folding it over like where it would go halfway if you were doing it, you go down in between the line next to it, the side next to it. Then you don't glue them together, and you put a spot of glue, because what I'm doing now is just setting them up really, on here, and I'm just setting it up in the middle, and then with the tail of the flower as such goes into that corner, the far corner that you've turned over. And I'm going to let those set for a moment, and then you'd wrap it around, and that should make it a little bit more like the photo, I guess. Alright, back in a moment. Okay, it took me a while, but I think I've got it. So what you want to do is you actually want the head of the bulb to be at the triangle end, the one you folded over. Then you want to wrap one side around it like a cape, and then the other side, when I get enough glue, run out here. Okay, so you wrap one over, and then you wrap the other one over, and then that gives it a bit more of a pointed bottom. Okay, it was the one before last when I realised. So they do all definitely look different. Okay, so then I'll do this bit, and then I'm gonna go wash my hands. Just put a bit towards the bottom here. Okay, and you want them to be about the height of the leaves, so they don't have to be together. In fact, you probably, I mean, it kind of shows that they are all together, but you want to get a good enough grip with the glue too, especially as there's not much glue where I'm putting them in right now. Get some other tweezers. I'm going to start at the other end then where I've got more glue. Doesn't help my hands would have got glue on. Okay. Right, I just switched tweezers and these don't want to let them go. Okay, get all of them on there. And then we'll roll them up like we've done before. And you could leave these to start drying if you wanted, but probably better to do it while it's still a little wet, because it's going to make your life easier in the long run, especially as quite often glue will harden paper. Okay, so I'm kind of getting them all in there. I had cut one too many oranges, by the way. Thought it was too good to be true. Okay, so see, one's really low down. I'm going to go over it. I'm going to find this one and pull it up as I put my hand straight in that glue. Okay, and then roll them, literally like we have before. And then that actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? After all that, that was a bit of hassle, but we got it. And it doesn't say about putting the paper in the bottom of this, which is good because I'm not very keen on that idea. Let's put some glue and turn it over in the glue. It's not what it's meant to be doing at all. And then squeeze them in to our pots. I'll roll them together a bit more at the end so it fits in. So it does look a bit messy, but it won't. I can assure you it will look fine. Okay, and that's that bead done. Flower pot. Looks alright, doesn't it? Right, let me go and clean this up and we will move on to page 15. Alright, so moving on to step 15. Let me just move these out of the way a bit. Not because they take up much room compared to what we're doing, because that's not the case. We are now going to build a flower pot, and we're going to need 4 lots of leaves done on our green, and we also need 4 of each colour. So again, fold them in half roughly, doesn't have to be perfect, and we should be okay with these. We do not need the flower pots. We will need it, but not yet. Not for this part one anyway. And you're going to want to be pairing up. I'm going to repeat this, by the way. A red and a yellow for each set. Cut around your sticker, which is going to go on the side of your flower pot. So I'm just going to put mine on already. Just making sure that these are the ends. Yeah. Because I don't like putting labels on when you're trying to do it vertically. It doesn't overly work out well for me. Not like I haven't done it, because I certainly have. So I'm going to make my flower pot up. So I'm going to put this on with some tacky and yeah, let me just put this on for a second. Then I'm going to get the greens cut out. No, then I'll put this all together with some wood glue, I think. So this are the legs of your flower trough, really, and your flower thing here. And what you're doing is you're making 5 small bunches of flower, 4, not 5, small bunches of flowers, which are going to sit in this trough. I wanted one of these for the front of my garden actually when I moved. Maybe I still will think about this, because I thought it looked kind of cool. Just trying to get a bit of glue in the places that I seem to have missed. I don't think there was a mark on any of them. No, not really. I don't think it would be that detailed on this sort of build. Okay, that's already taken. So let's get the wood glue going. And all we are going to do is, on this one, is put some wood glue. And I can get into it. I used a new pin and obviously I didn't like it, because I lost the other one. Ever watched any of my videos, you know this is a recurring theme. Okay. So you want, I'm going to put all 3 edges on. Wow, having problems with my wood glue. Not acting like it's glue at all, it's acting like it's water. Let's try that again then. Okay. So one up here, one up here. I think I might have washed it out last time I used this actually, because I think it had some rust in the lid. And even now it's not like pure white like it normally is. Probably should have just run a bead on the paper to have cleared it, but I didn't. Okay, so this will go at the bottom like so, and one of these on each side, and then that other one on top. Would have been so sensible to have got the sides of this, wouldn't it? Probably doesn't overly need it, but maybe just a dot in the corner. And then this can sit and take while we make the flowers. Although it'd probably be very quick for you because I'm probably doing most of it offline. I keep knocking it. Time I put the other one on, hopefully that will straighten it up somewhat. Yeah, maybe I'm just living in hope here. And for the exposure that this item's going to have, make it as perfect as you can. It's going to be at the back, I think. I don't even know how visible it is at all. And then we will go around the edge. I'm going to do it on here because of this being silhouette, and plonk this on top and leave it to take while we do the flowers. I really need to sort my glue out. Yeah, that all came out. There we go. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to cut 3 cm by 2.5 times 4 and make little triangles just like we have before. So we need to do it 3 by 2.5, so 3 by 10, and then I will cut it, fold it and then cut it and then separate it afterwards. So 3 centimeters, which is funny enough in line with there, by 10 centimeters. Right, I'm just going to take it straight to the end then. On here it's just over 10 centimeters. Probably more is a bit better. They normally do have plenty of this sort of paper. Some I've only had it on one of them where I think I was putting a purple flower in and I didn't have much at all. Can't remember the model. Might have been Old Time Alley. Could have been one of the Countryside, the little tin ones too. Okay, fold in half and in half again. Then I'm just going to cut them down. It doesn't ever really tell you which one's the long part and which one's the not. So that's 3 centimeters. That's 3.5. So let's make it this way, the longer side being the pointy side. So I'm just going to go down, which will kind of separate them as we go, and then just separate them out to make 4. I hit you. Oh, I won't move you then. Very wobbly. Or you could just do slits down here. It doesn't have to be triangles. And they show triangles. I tend to do triangles. But even if you did little slits, it would probably be fine. It'd be like grass, wouldn't it, rather than leaves? That'd be alright. Just very fine ones on this. Not quite fine. Theirs aren't that fine. When I say fine, I just mean close together. That was a strange angle. And we'll just go to the end, almost there. turn it over, go from the other side. It's easier when it starts to get towards the end of them. Okay. And then I think the lines are going across on this one. Yeah. So now I'm just going to separate them. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I do it. It's up to yourselves. You might want to do it a different way. And then, like I say, we're going to do a red and a yellow on each. Are you ready to move? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. My pup was being easy. Okay, she was just being a monster, really. The other dogs hate having their face licked, and she really, it's her favourite thing to do. And they get, like, they don't have a go at her, but they get a bit growly. And they're all sitting by me, and they don't realise that it's another 2 hours till they're fed, an hour and a half. Okay, red and a green, quite high up. So I'm just going to put mine in the middle. Exactly the same here, and quite high up. Where'd it go? Oh no, don't want it in the glue. Red and a green. Up to you, and put it anywhere on the paper, really. Doesn't matter that much. What you don't want to do is start wearing the paper. It's not the fashion, is it? Oh, this one I've cut, or they've cut. So in this case, I'll point that one outwards a bit. I don't think it's going to make any difference when they're just rolled up anyway. I'm going to roll them all up, just like we've done in the past. I'll go back on. I'll just make 4 of them, and then we are going to put it in that flower box. By then the flower box should be able to take it. So in comparison to the flower pot, they're actually quite tall. And then what I would do is, when you've finished one, you just roll it on in between your fingers and thumb to get it like nice and tight at the bottom there. Okay, how we're going to do the others. Okay, then we have our 4. Now what we want to do is kind of flatten the ends and put them all in the pot here. So it's done enough that, I mean, it's wood glue, so it takes a while to dry, but it's done enough that it's stable. And then I'm just going to flatten the bottoms of them and pop them in, and that's all there is to it. So after me rolling the bottoms, other than making sure that it's all glued, it wasn't overly necessary. I'm going to do slightly taller towards the back, away from the signpost. I say slightly, I meant slightly, but it doesn't look like they're too slightly. Looks like they're closer than what I thought they were going to be. And that's what we end up with, which actually looks really quite cool, doesn't it? Okay, that can go with the others sitting there chilling. Okay, trash, more trash. Right, next we are going to use the yellow pot that I've been trying to use, and these leaves, which I stuck down right at the beginning of this video. We are needing those, and all these are going to do is go in here. So again, a bit of tacky glue, and these will have to, because it's a very small hole, they're going to have to stick on that edge here as well. They're never going to all fit in there. and it's going to be an upright plant, so you want the leaves going upwards. So what you can do, however, is fold them in the middle somewhat, so it gives it a little bit more shape. Try not to put your hand on it like I did, straight on the glue. So some smaller ones and some bigger ones. Just going to do that, and this will complete page 15. So we're slowly getting there. Might even get some structure done soon. I'll have a look at, I mean, we're on about 40 odd minutes right now, maybe about 40. Let's see if we can squeeze something else in, being it's felt terribly slow these last 3 days. See if there's, I mean, if the next step is something like this, you know, just do a plant or something, then maybe I can knock that out. Maybe we can fit it in. Now, it's good that they've got all these different techniques, and I'm sure it's to help you use different techniques and things like that. That one said no. And you do kind of want them a bit upright on this. I mean, I guess one could just gather them before even touching the pot, really. Because I really just don't want to stay in there. Well, not all of them. I'm not going to bend them from now on, I don't think. Oops. Oh man. It's too many. Okay, easy. Grab them all together. I think it's going to be easier. And pop them in, let them dry, and separate them out, and that looks just fine. As long as it stays away from the others. Okay, right, let's have a look at what else we've got. Next one's a table with some fruit and some paper seeds, I think. I think we're going to leave that. So we've got a couple next coming up, but they don't involve as many plants. We've got one involving a plant, which is really simple. And then we do have more plants to make because it is a garden. But we will get to make a table tomorrow, also make a tree trunk like table, and then a flower pot or two out of wood, which has paper decoration and flowers in, and they look quite nice, like a little rockery. We'll be adding a butterfly. Then we are doing a purple flower pot rather, making a birdhouse, and doing some others. So let's leave it at page 15 complete, and we will aim to do the table tomorrow, and hopefully get all the way to the birdhouse, if not a bit further, because that would be cool too. Alrighty, so please do like and subscribe. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them, and do sorry, I got distracted. And yeah, I mean, I will get back to you on any comments, and I'm pretty good at doing that. And also do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I do really appreciate those who already have and are supporting the channel, and for all your comments as well. It does mean a lot to me. So let's have a look at what we have finished today, and put this in there. Keep that for another day. Let's have a look at what we've done. Get this out of the way. So we have done 5 plants, 5 plant pots, and they look pretty cool. I mean, this is a really cool one, isn't it? The bell one. And then you have this one, which is really nice. I mean, they're all very different. This one, of course, is incredibly wet still. And it might be we want to separate those out, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit before messing with it. And I can always just mess with the leaves if I want them. And then we've got this one, which ended up turning out all right. I was quite happy with how that turned out, really. And then we have our little flower trough, which also worked out to be okay. So overall, we've done 5 plants, better than some days. And then tomorrow we should be able to make some ground on doing some other stuff outside of flowers, although it's all going to involve flowers, if that makes sense. To actually make some pots and things would be pretty cool. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Like I say, do take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye now.